As you already know, in the upcoming Godzilla x Kong New Empire, a brand new villain has stepped onto the scene, posing a threat unlike anything seen before in the Monsterverse. Yes, we're indeed talking about the Skar King, who's apparently so goddamn powerful that it actually drives Godzilla and King Kong, who are typically portrayed as rivals, to join forces against him. Just by the few glimpses of Skar King from the trailer, you can understand the Titan's immense power and destructive capabilities. He's presented as a creature who has witnessed the wars between Godzilla and Kong, as well as the rise and fall of civilizations throughout the Monsterverse history. Apart from that, this colossal primate is supposed to be even older than Kong and Godzilla, making him quite the indomitable adversary, who has both experience and strength to go against two of the most iconic kaijus of the monster world. Despite previous world-ending threats like King Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla, Adam Wingard, the director, has described Skar King as the most deadly threat ever faced by Godzilla and Kong. As both these colossal kaijus unitedly prepare to confront this common enemy, we're left on the edge of our seats, eager to witness the epic showdown that will determine the fate of the Monsterverse. But why has Skar King remained dormant until now, especially during previous catastrophic events like King Ghidorah's reign, or the time when Mechagodzilla was wreaking havoc on Earth? Perhaps he bided his time, waiting for the right moment to emerge and assert his dominance. Well, without wasting much time, let's discuss where Skar King might have been during Godzilla vs. Kong. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Who is Skar King? How does he fit into the Monsterverse? In the New Empire, the focus completely shifts from Godzilla's other adversaries to a new ape villain named Skar King. So this Skar King has distinctive red fur and a lankier build compared to Kong, but it is his ruthless nature which adds to his menace, making him a powerful opponent for the titular duo. While the trailer doesn't reveal much about Skar King, it does showcase the fearsome presence, because in one scene, he simply looms over a beach, making humans look tiny in comparison. And although his exact scale remains unclear, it's evident that his power certainly has more impact than we think. What further adds to the tension is that Skar King isn't alone, because in the trailer we've seen the presence of other Kongs, some of whom are probably being ruled by Skar King. So that gives Godzilla and Kong all the more reason to team up and get all the help they can receive. Now, Skar King stands out in Legendary's Monsterverse as a one-of-a-kind villain because he's not actually from Toho, which is the brains behind the Godzilla franchise. In the Monsterverse, usually Toho's monsters like Godzilla, King Ghidorah, and Mechagodzilla are typically featured, drawing from decades of iconic characters. However, Skar King is an original creation for Godzilla x Kong The New Empire, so this marks Skar King's debut in literally any form of media, as he has been specifically crafted for this installment. This is a huge departure from the norm, as one might expect the Monsterverse to specifically rely on established Toho monsters for such a significant movie featuring longtime rival kaijus teaming up. Nonetheless, Skar King's creation allows the filmmakers to tailor the character precisely to the narrative needs of the film. Apart from that, the decision to introduce an original villain like Skar King can be seen as a positive one. It gives the opportunity for the character to flawlessly fit into the story, while avoiding the criticism of shoehorning in a Toho monster, as some felt was the case with Mechagodzilla in Godzilla vs. Kong. This approach allows for storytelling opportunities while maintaining the spirit of the Monsterverse. Now, in the Monsterverse, King Kong was believed to be the last of his kind for many years, with the whereabouts of the rest of his species unknown. However, it is revealed that they all retreated to the Hollow Earth, which, if you didn't know, is a vast underground realm inhabited by various creatures from the Monsterverse. So Skar King was one among these notable inhabitants. And as I have mentioned before, the trailer for Godzilla x Kong The New Empire very clearly portrays Skar King as the ruler of the Kongs in the Hollow Earth, because we can see him and other promotional materials, while ruling over the Kongs. Now, the exact reason for the conflict between Skar King and Kong still remains unknown. The trailer hints that Skar King ventures out of the Hollow Earth, potentially indicating some sort of beef with humans. Plus, the Monsterverse has always been known for its intricate lore, so it's safe to expect Skar King's backstory to be elaborated upon in the film. And I'm sure the film will answer all our questions regarding his history, motivations, or his connection to the other creatures on the Hollow Earth. Where was Skar King during Godzilla vs. Kong? Now, we found a few theories on the internet which seem plausible enough to make sense, so we will only discuss those we think can be considered within the Monsterverse lore. To understand the origins of Skar King and his connection to Skull Island, we must take a detour to 1973, when Bill Randa first visited the island. At that time, Kong was merely 100 feet tall. While Randa learned about the island's history, So Kong's family had been pushed to Skull Island by Godzilla's species, and there they faced non-stop attacks from skullcrawlers, which were creatures that hunted and feasted upon the primate's flesh. After the attack, it was only Kong as an infant who survived the conflict and emerged as the last member of his species, or so it was believed. Remember how during Randa's expedition, they discovered a massive red handprint painted on a cliff, which they initially thought belonged to Kong? Well, upon closer inspection, it was determined that this handprint was far too large to belong to Kong. Plus, recent marketing materials from Legendary Entertainment have given us a few more hints that this handprint actually belonged to Skar King. So it may be possible that it was actually Skar King who sent the Skullcrawlers to Skull Island in the 19th century to wipe out an exiled Kong tribe that had refused to bow to him. After the Skullcrawlers completed their task, Skar King arrived to claim the island as his territory, unaware that one Kong had survived his onslaught. Hence, it is believed that the handprint is actually a mark of Skar King's presence and dominance over Skull Island. We already know from the Godzilla x Kong trailer that Skar King is enslaving Kong's species, shedding light on the possibility that Kong's tribe fled to avoid being killed and were subsequently punished if they did not submit to Skar King. But this ape titan had no idea that Kong survived on Skull Island, where he annihilated the remaining skullcrawlers that now inhabit the island. So it's possible that after returning to the Hollow Earth, Skar King continued to expand his army of enslaved Kongs, conditioning them through means of torture in order to do his bidding. This process likely persisted until the events of Godzilla King of the Monsters, during which Ghidorah's attack on the surface world presented Skar King with the opportunity to strengthen his army and plan an invasion. Naturally, given what we saw of him in the trailer, while preparing his forces, Skar King also sought to mine resources, including colossal crystals that served as a power source. But the invasion plans were disrupted when Godzilla destroyed one of Skar King's claimed temples, blasting a hole through the Hollow Earth. On the other hand, Kong's journey into the Hollow Earth during the events of Godzilla vs. Kong finally revealed to Skar King that a powerful Kong survivor existed. Until then, Kong had been protected by the storms surrounding Skull Island, but now his existence was known and out in the open. So it's possible that as Kong returned to the Hollow Earth at the film's end, Skar King set out patrols to observe him, waiting for the perfect opportunity to either recruit him into his army or eliminate him for refusing. Now Skar King is gearing up his army for an inevitable invasion of the surface world, aiming to expand his ever-growing empire. While doing so, he's aided by Shimo, who possesses the ability to freeze entire cities in cataclysmic blizzards, thus upgrading Skar King's arsenal. With this revelation, it becomes quite clear that Skar King has been pulling the strings from the very beginning. He most likely fueled the conflicts witnessed in Godzilla vs. Kong, and was probably present on Skull Island during the demise of Kong's family. Apart from that, we think Skar King capitalized on Ghidorah's attacks, using the chaos to bolster his army. So when Godzilla destroyed one of his captured temples, Skar King expedited his plans, accelerating the expansion of his new empire. All this paints Skar King as a cunning and manipulative titan, who seems to be doing just about anything to further his own ambitions. And as of now, it really remains to be seen how he prepares to unleash his forces on the surface world, which will set the stage for a monumental clash between Skar King, Godzilla, and Kong in Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. So that's all we know and theorize as of now about the newest villain in the Monsterverse. What do you guys think about this? Let us know in the comment box below. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone!